and thank you so much for joining us for your Smackdown post show. On delay a little bit tonight, we are still rocking the European time zone differences. You got Sean going on during the days. Next Monday, or this upcoming Monday, rather, he will definitely not be on at the usual spot because we're going to have the Fightful Awards on at that time. And my gosh, we'll reveal our surprise guest hosts in just a moment to that Raw show. But before we do that, get in your super chats and get in your humper chats at humperchats.com. Please do leave a thumbs up on this video. Please tell me how my hair looks because I just got it done today and it's giving Cresta a little bit of the Rachel from the 90s, I feel like, with these PCs. I feel like I should be like, yeah, Ross, yeah. That's how I feel.
I'm going to just get ready for you to kick me. I don't know the reference. I feel like that's a Friends reference, and I've never.
Oh, it was nice having Cresta on. She can go back to covering TNA, which, boy, oh boy, feels like punishment in some ways. But Cresta,
nah, that's fair. That's
fair. Are you tonight? You were on with Sean Rossap yesterday talking about the big TNA on AMC debut. You are going to be filling in on Monday, co-hosting along with Phil Lindsay for Raw. That'll be on 4:30-ish because Belfast is on 2 p.m. Eastern time, I believe. But Cresta, how are you doing?
My bangs are going into business for themselves. They were fine right before, and then during the show, it's like, you know what? This is what you deserve. So besides that, like I said right before we got on air, my bangs are just going to do this. I don't care. Right before we got on air, like I said, I don't know why I was so upset yesterday. I'm just watching TNA on the wrong day. TNA tonight, fantastic. Jordan Grace was there. Chelsea, Leon Slater was even there. You know, I'm just looking at TNA on the wrong day. Just looking at TNA on the wrong day. You know what? All things considered, it was a pretty okay episode of Smackdown. I was not sports disappointed, but I also watched it over a couple of hours. I stopped and started, so you know.
You know what? It's funny because even when we're doing the show later, I tend to watch during the day. And I like it. There's just something really manageable about, like, I don't know if everybody has this viewing experience because not everybody's rushing on to do post shows, but like having a minute to like organize my notes and stuff was so nice today. Like having some breathing room. I'm loving these European shows. I'll take it. But to your point, it feels like they have reset the chessboard a little bit. We had stakes throughout the show, which like just always helps when there's meaning behind these matches. We have a new champion. So there's a lot of new stuff cooking, but there's also some leftovers reheating, it feels like, in some ways. So we're going to talk about all of that and more. A lot more of you watching now than were at the beginning of the show. So I will also give Fightful Select a plug because my goodness, has it been a busy week between WrestleVotes and Sean Rossap. I say it all the time, like Sean hoops nowhere harder than on contract news. And he had news of the Rascals headed to AEW, which got confirmed later that night. News that the Inspiration, after dropping their tag titles, are free agents. We don't know where they're heading yet, but I'm intrigued to see that one, Cresta, because there's two things in play with the Inspiration. And one is WWE is finally paying attention to its women's tag division. They love their nostalgia acts, so they could get iconic once again. But AEW also has a tag division that they need real honest to God tag teams for. I think they could reset the chessboard themselves a little bit better with that women's division. Like you could certainly make tag teams out of the women you have there already, but a bona fide tag team with some character coming into AEW wouldn't be the worst either. Like they have plenty of work rate. They could use a shot in the arm with characters like this. Either way, I'm hoping that Billie Kay shows up with her resume to either one of these places. Like I miss that whole bit. I thought that was so much fun, and I think that's such a fun way to leave companies. But you have been, we joked about yesterday, but following TNA, and that's how you came over to Fightful. And the Rascals, a big part of that. The Inspiration has been there, you know, on short-term deals in and out, but they've been there for a while. So any of your thoughts on those Fightful Select scoop skis that we had this week?
Honestly, on the one hand, very happy for every individual involved. Get your money. Don't let the money get you. Do your ginormous one. Very happy for everyone. On the other hand, TNA is just getting taken out back and beaten, man. That's your whole X division. Every rascal, I know they made a play for it, but yeah, yo, Tony Khan's pockets are deep. I can't but a hut there. I respect that. But it's like, I don't know, man. It also brings up a systemic problem that happens in TNA, and I think every company does. The top of your card moved on to greener pastures. So the people at the undercard moved up, but now your undercard that moved up is being pilfered literally by AEW and WWE. Your champion, your X division, your marquee division, he couldn't even compete last night because he was on this show tonight. Don't get me wrong. That match with Carmelo Hayes, I'll take that. That was okay. I'll take that. That was a lovely substitute. But overall, it's kind of like, damn, TNA. I know this has happened to you before when Samoa Joe left, AJ Styles left, and then when AEW came in the first time. The way I see it is that you guys can either recover, which you probably will, or what was the one before NXT that was like FCW, that was like WWE?
Yeah.
And even then, I still think that might still be a step up, considering, it is what it is at this point. It is what it is. So I'm hoping for the best, but it just sucks for TNA now because the people you have, you've either underutilized them or, like, for example, last night they said a lot of people had travel issues and visa issues. Whether that was true or not, it doesn't matter. But you would bring in local talent, and now I feel like you're not allowed or you can't do that. So it sucks, but get your money. Hey, the business don't know nobody. Hey, get your money.
That's it. I think, like, a lot of people, you and I are both on the side of, like, get paid. If you're a talent, like, this is a really, really rough business. And the only thing that I will say is, because this is not a TNA specific problem, by the way. This is a problem with New Japan. This is a problem with MLW, where people get on the radar and they move on to get paid. What I will say is it is a uniquely TNA problem in the way that they choose to manufacture this problem themselves. They put titles on people that are not champions. They do 6-month deals. They do deals where they don't guarantee their champions to commit to specific dates. They shoot themselves in the foot by not locking people in. And the thing is, now this isn't even always fair to promotions, but when you sign a TV deal, talent are going to expect to reap the benefits of that in some way, usually with more financial stability. That's not always how those deals work, right? Like, that does not always mean everybody's getting raises. A lot of these companies are operating at a loss before they're operating at a profit. AEW is a great example of that. When they re-signed, that was the first time they turned profitable. So it doesn't always work in the way that people think, but, like, I don't know how TNA continues to put themselves in positions to let it happen so easily. And that's a shame, because when, like, I'm watching the show last night and Steve Macklin's not even on your debut. Like,
you had AJ Francis in your audience, and that's someone who y'all heavily push.
It's just like, your identity cannot be AJ Styles coming back to maintain the house that he built to say words and then stare someone down backstage, and the Hardys getting a pop at an entrance. That cannot be the sustaining pillar of a company moving forward. So I know there was a lot of talk about that. There were a lot of scoops about that. There was an interview with, I can never say his name right, Matt Rehwoldt. Raywalt. Okay. I feel so bad. That's one of those ones that plays with my dyslexia so bad, that last name. But he had a great interview with Sean that you guys should check out. Sean also having interviews with Colby Carino, a big debunkathon today. But yeah, FightfulSelect.com. We, of course, also had that Powerhouse Hobbs update. So interesting contract cycles. And that's where Sean Ross Sapp loves to sit, man. That guy is like,
let me ask you something. They changed Powerhouse Paul's name. I mean, Powerhouse Hobbs. Obviously, that's my
Powerhouse.
But what do you think they would change his name to?
They love, like, those one word, one syllable names. So I could see him just being Hobbs, like, just Hobbs.
You think he would name it just Powerhouse?
You know what? I think they would do that, but I think they would run into trademark issues. I bet Powerhouse is probably already locked in for people's like merch and stuff.
Fair.
But I do think it'll be something altered rather than scrapped because I think it works for him. But
I want Powerhouse Paul. Clear. Pow.
Pauler House.
Pauler House. I don't know. Paul White might pull up. It's like, that's gimmick infringement, brother.
He's like, hold on. Hold on. But also, our friends at WrestleVotes have been such a welcome addition behind the paywall as well. They are always dropping scoops on their radio show. We also put them in written form if you're not able to listen, but they do a really good job. And I would encourage you, if you are a subscriber, to take a listen to the show because I think there's something in the delivery of what they said. And we found out this week that people just don't give a shit about aggregating at all because they just made up something completely that nobody at WrestleVote said. But let's move on to talking about some SmackDown. Get in those super chats and humper chats. I did also just want to thank you guys. We sold out the Fightful Awards, and I am overwhelmed by that because this is a really hard year for people financially, and we take the fact that you put money in us very, 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 very seriously. And I was worried what inflation was going to do, and we more than doubled what we did last year as far as having people show their support. And I just can't tell you what that means because it's really important to Sean, and now that I'm involved to the degree I am myself, but like to Sean especially, that these trophies look good and that we, you guys make it an affordable thing to do. We do not do this for profit, but he takes them seriously, and we spend a lot of the year reporting stuff that's not always favorable or fun, and wrestlers put up with that. And so for us to be able to pause and celebrate what happened this past year is something that's really, really important. And just know that we appreciate that support so much. And we will do everything to maximize your dollar to the best of our ability. Well, let's dig into some wrestling talk. We've been yapping about TNA and all sorts of stuff. Let's talk some SmackDown because, Cresta, you alluded to it at the top of the show. Like, this was a pretty good episode tonight. And I think a couple of things helped. One, there were 7 matches. That always helps when you have a lot of matches and they're all really good. And like we have, whenever you put stakes on an entire episode, that just helps. Like it's not always the best, but you're never going to get like a bad episode of wrestling. I feel like if you have something like this is a bunch of contendership matches on the same night. So that's the kind of wrestling presentation that is for me too, like just from a preference standpoint. But I really liked most of what we got tonight. How do you feel kind of on the whole here?
I love you, TNA, but I'm getting my jokes off tonight. After last night, it was real hard. It was real hard to be bad. I was like, yo, I need something. Come on. It was, and I got more than what I wanted. Last night I had burnt McDonald's that was left out in the sun for 3 days. Tonight I didn't go to Benihana's. But I had Applebee's that was fresh Applebee's because it do be hitting. Don't do that to Applebee's. It was hitting. Okay, it was good tonight. I won't lie.
2 for $25 at Applebee's was like how I lived my life for a very long time in my young 20s.
Bro, and when the pasta is fresh or when the shrimp is fresh, it's so good. You're eating good in the neighborhood.
That's it. That's it. I was a big I'm not a meat eater anymore, but the 3 cheese chicken penne was my shit for a long time.
Those
for a long time at the
too,
Applebee's.
when they're fresh, what?
Get out of town and take a bus. Don't hate on Applebee's, but
don't hate on Applebee's, bro.
We do have some chats that came in. Greg Terry saying, happy Friday night to the best chaotic duo. That is true. The first lady of Sour Kate's and the lead investigator, Cresta Lovians. Well, we love you too, Greg. And Greg also saying no one would ever want to break with Kate. Well, Ross, I just want to talk like that with his hair. Yeah, let's dive into what we got tonight, because we do, of course, start with a recap, but we do have Drew entering with this megastar reaction, or this megastar entrance rather, and he gets this huge reaction, which was so great to see. Like, I got really worried that maybe they were overstaying their welcome with Drew finally getting his hands on this title, but like this crowd didn't come to mess around today. He says that he prayed for this and it happened. He plays up being kind of like the first UK champion. No, what's crazy about this Cresta too is in the 3 title reigns that he had, this is the first time he's gotten to address the crowd. The other 2 were during the pandemic, and the other one was so short that he didn't get to address the crowd as a champion. This is technically his 4th title reign, and the first time he's actually getting to talk to the crowd. But he tells the fans, screw you, and says that they weren't there for him when he got fired, when the Bloodline screwed him, when CM Punk ruined his life, like all of these things. And the only person he can thank is himself, and he demands the crowd chant, "Thank you, Drew." And then Drew reveals Cody doesn't get an immediate rematch due to the contract that they signed before the 3 Stages of Hell match. So they immediately put that to bed. What we get later makes me worried they're just going to go back to that well, but we'll talk about that in a second because we have Randy Orton interrupting him, not to congratulate him, but to warn him. Randy says that he's beaten Drew for the title before and he'll do it again, which I love Randy bringing up. And he says he'll put Drew through the announce table. And then Jacob Fatu hits the ring and immediately attacks Drew, brawling with him to the outside and chasing him to the back. And Orton left standing with the Miz sneaking in, and he drops Randy with a skull-crushing finale. So a lot happening in the beginning of this. I really don't need them to like extend Randy Orton and the Miz at all, but it is what it is. What did you think of kind of our opening segment here? I thought they set the tone really nicely with Drew's entrance and this crowd being so white hot. I thought it was a fun way to kick things off.
The only thing I want to correct you on when you said it is what it is, it's Miz what it Miz. You're welcome.
I already had to pull you off the screen once for not
Don't kick me. Don't kick me.
I can't, honestly, I can't hate on a good pun. Like, I'm such a pun advocate in my life. Like, I would never kick you off screen for a good one. Just because I didn't think of it. Like, that's the only reason I'd be upset about that. But it is what it is. That's trickier to say than it seems.
It Miz what it Miz. I mean, honestly, I liked this. This was peak sports entertainment. First, Drew McIntyre doing what I like to call the Undertaker entrance. 4 minutes to get from the ramp to the ring to say something. You're the worst. Compliment. The fact that he opened up with, I prayed for this and it happened. I was in the palm of his hand. Whatever you said, because that's some jerk. That's really jerk move to say. And then to turn on us, we were there for you, Drew. That's not. And then he said, you should be thanking me. The crowd started chanting, "Thank you, Drew." And here I was, and I was like, "Thank you. You're right, Drew. I did stand by you. You stopped yourself." I mean, CM Punk, you got bent out of shape over a bracelet. I'm just saying, I'm gonna let you have this because, like Kate said, before there were no fans, and when you did get it in front of fans, you lost it before the episode ended. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. I like Randy Orton coming out. I don't like the Miz, but I thought this was very clever. He's gonna die. He died.
Yes, that part.
But I will give Miz this, that he knows how to hang around and be like, this is about me. Very much, it should have been me, like a fly. So I think when he does this role, he does it well. And I was like, okay, Randy gonna kill you, but you got me, gal. You got me. You got me. I was expecting Trick Williams, not you, but you got me.
There you go. There you go. We're going to talk about Trick Williams in a little bit, but me, Norma, saying, "Kate, you'll get my homework in the morning. Shall we crank, darlings?" Ladies, low bar, but snack time was better than whatever last night was. That is the consensus. Last night just felt like people could talk about AEW taking the free agents and stuff, and like the WWE partnership being a talent portal for WWE, but like, it's not their fault that brand has no identity. Like, I'm watching this yesterday and I was like, I don't know. And that's not to say anything about the talent. Like, Mustafa Ali is one of my favorites, and he's out there getting like pinned by what's left of the Hardys and Elijah. Like, I just
my heart
I don't know, man. I don't know. Bully Ray coming out on commentary being like, justifying this is awesome. You had 3 matches in 2 hours. Your brand is called Total Nonstop Action. 3
Please.
matches in 2 hours, and Bully Ray is like, I know this is the world title, but let me take weird little jabs at Tony Khan. They have a lot of work to do to figure out who the hell they are. But tonight was a good episode of SmackDown, independent of that and comparatively, I would say.
I'm fighting for my life. I'm trying to convince
know.
everyone and their mama, watch TNA. And then I watched last night and I wanted to go outside and sit and just look at the city for an hour. Like, yeah. TNA, I can't defend you when you're acting like this, man.
You're so bad. I was like genuinely thinking about you because I didn't know if you were going to be on the post show, and I'm so glad you were. But I was like poor Joel and Cresta, who have put so much of their emotional energy into like cheering for this little brand. And I get it. It's tough, and it's also like there were so many. It was the production, like they're showing the content creator section. There's empty rows of people, but the rest of the arena has people. And like it was amateur hour from front.
Not amateur. Somebody said last night it was community theater. And I was like, don't you ever.
No, but it is. But it was.
Yo, this is SmackDown. Yo.
I know. Let's talk about SmackDown. It was a good episode of SmackDown. We aired our grievances on TNA yesterday, but it was like, I think people were pretty taken aback by how rough of a debut that was. But let's talk about Randy Orton versus The Miz. We have The Miz countering a skull crushing finale and trying to scramble out of it before Randy Orton catches him in an RKO. I was going to look this up, but it turned out Sean Ross Sapp had already done the research for me online. The Miz has lost 15 straight matches, and I would like to know what the ever-living hell he's doing in a qualified match. Like, they have 3 hours now, so there's really no excuse. But there's never an excuse to have nobody look strong that's not a champion. Like, you've got to do better than that. These people have to be riding, like, not everybody has to be riding giant waves of momentum. Some people have to be riding any momentum at all that aren't champions, and that's just not the case. But this was, of all the matches that were on this is the one that probably should have been like sub 5 minutes. Randy should have a dominant win over The Miz here. No offense to The Miz. Like, that's what he was there to do tonight. He showed up and he did his job tonight. And then backstage, we have Drew bumping into Ilja, who warns Drew he doesn't like to fight a sane man. And Drew says, cool, I'll knock your teeth down your throat as well. That's fine by me. So that is kind of the next chunk of programming to talk about here. Your thoughts on Randy and The Miz and this backstage that we get?
Sometimes every time I want to complain about The Miz, I have to remind myself not everyone can win. And The Miz, unfortunately, for better or for worse, is a great loser. I mean, not derogatory. Like, he's losing, and now I'm going to screw you over in the next match. So there's always something for The Miz to do. I got to give him his props there. My favorite part of the next segment is when Ilja tells Drew, I'm going to do all of this stuff. Drew literally looks at him and says, I don't care.
Stephen A. Smith, we do not care.
I don't care. There's just a mentalist chasing me. Ilja did nice speech, bro. I don't care. I was like, yo, I don't want them to take the belt off of Drew. If this is the unhinged Drew McIntyre we're gonna get, hey, job the whole division. It's the first time you did it. I like this, Drew.
Unplugged? Can you hear me?
Hello?
Oh, okay. I got unplugged there for a second. So I just saw you being very like energetic, and I don't know what you said, but I'm gonna just assume I agreed with it because I like
Drew McIntyre is the best. I need him more. And ever since he said I don't care, like you said, Stephen A. Smith,
we don't
absolute cinema. Absolute cinema. I need him to do that every time. I prayed for this and it happened. But
Boom.
Drew, I don't care.
I don't care. He's fantastic. And it's also like his character needed this so bad because you cannot be this guy and not have it pay off for so long, especially when you're as physically intimidating as Drew McIntyre. Like, it's not like some Weasley little guy who has this character. This is a big ass dude who looks like he could beat the hell out of you. And I just feel like that is a proper development for pretty much everybody involved. So Good stuff there as we continue getting those super chats and humper chats. I know we're starting later than last week, but we are glad that you are here with us as we continue to work our way through SmackDown. And let's be real, probably continue to talk some shit about TNA. I'm sorry, but it's just like inevitable because we're going to talk about Leon Slater being rented for the European tour instead of on their AFC debut. Because what a showing for that kid. But before we get to that, the Wyatts and Solo Sikoa have video packages back and forth here. We got a recap and the Wyatt 6 vignette with Bo Dallas talking about the lantern as their light being something that Solo shouldn't have. Later, we get Solo Sikoa saying that if the Wyatts want their lantern back, they need to put the tag titles on the line. And he is still focused on bringing those back to his family. So pretty straightforward dastardly stuff from Solo Sikoa, right? He's manipulating the Wyatt 6 back into a tag title match here. I just don't know what's missing from this for me. The motivations make sense. It just doesn't feel like it's the right combination of guys interacting with each other, or maybe this has stayed around too long or something, but I just don't feel like there's any heat on this, Cresta. Am I wrong in that? Do you feel like this has some juice behind it, or is it kind of withering for you too?
You're not wrong. There is a certain that is missing. Like you said, everything is there, but I will say this: if I had to critique this, because I like what they're doing here, but when the Wyatt 6 said that the lantern leads us through the darkness, so the darkness doesn't lead the way, I was like, you guys are gonna start, like when they kidnapped the Miz, you're gonna start stalking people. So later on tonight, when we did have the Solo Sikoa match, I expected the Wyatt 6 to come out and disqualify and do heinous things. I still expected the MFTs to stand tall, but I feel like that would have needed to kick it up to the next gear, because I think both the video packages from them were like you said, the right motivations, the right things are there. I just think that there has to be another gear besides the same run-in that we see, but now there's a lantern involved. I think it's there, but there has to be there's a level of violence that, not to compare, but that Bray Wyatt would have brought to this.
Sure.
That the Wyatt 6 are it's just right above comedy, and I don't like that for the Wyatt 6. And I think there is a little bit, they could do it. I believe it. You got to make it where I'm gonna stop Hell in a Cell because it's too much hell. You know what I mean? And now it's kind of like you're beefing with the MFTs, and with all due respect to the MFTs, but it's the MFTs. Come on now, it's Solo Sikoa. I ain't beat about Solo Sikoa. The guy who got kicked out of the bloodline, the guy who had to have to stop hanging out with the Samoans to go hang out with the Tongans, that guy.
I think it's also, well, two things. One, I think by 10 o'clock on a Friday or whatever, I don't want to be smart. This is I'm not here for the symbolism anymore. I need it to be dumb. I need it to be so simple, and I don't want to think symbolically. No, I like what you mentioned about, at this point, Bray would have brought more heat to it, because one of my chief complaints has been like, why is Nikki Cross not wrestling? Like, in between these things, it would take no time at all for these guys to be murdering jobbers in between. Like, remind us that they're vicious as much as you remind us that they're twisty. Because I think you're right. Like, if these guys were just chewing teams up and spitting them out along the way, you'd be like, oh, I'm intimidated by these guys. But yeah, this has been a little bit too where, like, Solo was yuckity yuck sarcasm, but he was great at it. And then at other points, the Wyatt 6 were like borderline comedy horror. And now they've tried to pivot them both back to serious. And it's kind of gotten muddy there. But you're right. Like, there was something special with Bray where he would make you feel a little more horrified than rather just like this. Maybe we're a little too psychological and not violent enough.
Let me give away game for free. Hear me out, right?
Oh?
If you, in my opinion, if you wanted to up this a notch, you could have Nikki Cross being real creepy and sending letter, walking into the MFT base, because you guys so far don't hit women. So far. That Randy Orton is a different story, sure. You know what I mean? But she could come in there, like give you a thing, like what they used to do before when Michael Cole would have to play that VHS. They could give them a VHS or whatever it is. You want to take it one step further, start messing with like Nia Jax and them. And then when they've had enough, they kidnap Nikki Cross. And that should really send the Wyatt Six into a tizzy. Because now Nikki Cross is kidnapped. She crazy. Don't none of them want to watch her because she's crazy. To me, that's how you up it. Because what do you mean you kidnap Nikki Cross? Do you want to perish? Do you no longer want to be on this plane of existence? Because also, you kidnap Nikki? These guys are crazy too. That is something that is missing. That type of layer of here is a VHS with someone's hair. You haven't seen Tamina because we kidnapped her. I'm gonna make it look like we're on something like that. There was that little bit of layer. That's just my 2 cents. If y'all use it, hey, you don't even got a gimmick infringement. Just say Cresta on stream.
I like it. I like it. I think, there was like that one AAA spot that Nikki did where she just had like blood coming out of her mouth. And I'm like, this woman is just a special performer. Like she's just connected in a different way. And it's so funny because like I have not met a single soul who has been like, she's a little off-putting. Like, no, everyone is like proactively, she's the warmest, nicest, kindest person in the world. Like everybody loves her. But she plays this creepy shit really well, man. And we need to see more of it. We need to see more of it. And we might, because there's 3 hours now. Like, hopefully they use these 3 hours in ways that support the storytelling they have going on instead of being like, let's give Drew even longer of entrance. Josh D from CT saying, these MF spitting. It's like his perennial chat, and it just makes me so happy every time I see it. Kim Wilson Aura is a thing in 2026. Strap a rocket to him. We're going to talk about him in a second because I think we're seeing me be right in real time because I am a pretty deadly stan, and I think people are starting to understand how underutilized they were. So
I hate to agree
nobody
with
else
you.
saw it but me. Yeah, no, it was all me, nobody else. Truly though, like honestly, such incredible performers, and I'm so glad. Like honestly, it feels like they just needed to see what was going on with Elton Prince before they chose a direction for Kit Wilson. Like they certainly could have had him on TV more, but now I feel like everybody knows what they're up against in that regard, and I'm glad to see him getting utilized. But we will talk about him in a bit because we're gonna swing into some women's tag stories and matches here with Alexa Bliss and Charlotte, and their tension kind of flaring here. Feels like Nia Jax maybe got in Alexa's head a little bit. We get this scene backstage where Alexa's like, okay, but were you really sick or were you mean girl sick? Like, I can't go out. And Charlotte was like, hold your horses. I was actually sick. And she says, I've put off a lot of title shots to be committed to this team. And I'm sorry I wasn't here for you, but I am committed. And then you have Nia Jax and Lash Legend showing up, and Charlotte telling Lash she's changed before leaving. So this story is playing out well. Like they used last week's loss as a way for it to matter for Alexa. And that's pretty much all I ask, is that the win means something and the loss means something at the end of the day. It doesn't always have to mean if you win, you're headed toward a title. And it doesn't have to always mean if you lose, you're a jobber. But they should be something that you take with you to the next week. And I thought Alexa did a good job of that here. What did you think?
So I'm an OG Alexa Bliss hater and an OG Charlotte Flair hater.
You are both those things.
So to see these two girls, Eagles, flare up, it's like, oh yeah, go back to the singles division where you belong. But at the same time, why are you letting Nia Jax trick you? Nia Jax, I love Nia Jax, but Nia Jax is either the smartest person in the room or you guys. Come on. How are you letting Nia Jax get in your head? The same Nia Jax who turned on you, Alexa Bliss. But to be fair, Alexa Bliss, you were being mean to Nia Jax. Also, Charlotte Flair. But also, Lash Legend, Nia Jax gonna turn on you, girl. You better turn on her before you better Sami Zayn it after Kevin Owens turned on him 8 times, no less. She's going to turn on you. So pay attention to the girls in the room. Get your tag title and then take out Nia because she's gonna take you out first.
One of my favorite aspects of the damage control angle was when Bailey saw the attack coming, because they were speaking Japanese behind her back and she had learned enough to know what they were saying. And I was like, "Oh my god, a smart baby face who doesn't just blindly trust everybody, who has patterns of behavior of betrayal." I would love for something like that to come into play here. I would love for Lash to be smart enough to beat Nia to the punch, or for Alexa to beat Charlotte to the punch. Like, I think that is a really, really fun possibility. I also agree with you. Like, why respectfully, why are we like taking Nia Jax seriously about this in 2026? And I'll even say this, Nia Jax, why are you playing mind games with people who you could swat out of the air? Why are you playing mind games with
Come
them?
on
Just
now.
beat 'em up. If I could just kick people's butt like that, I would do that all the time. I would do that all
I'll
the
even
time.
take it one step further. I think, and this is again, OG Bliss and Flair hater. I think Flair's character has literally turned the bend, turned a new corner. If Alexa Bliss turned to her, oh my God, yo, Alexa Bliss, you would have managed to be the world's most hated after everyone was hating on Charlotte Flair, like hating on Charlotte Flair. That would be so funny. Charlotte Flair's like, yo, I actually became a good guy. I gave up all my hoes for you. What is this? You gonna turn on me? Oh man, that'd be kind of funny. That would be funny.
Put down the roster is very funny. Damn.
I
Okay.
stopped going for the title. I let Jane Cargill be titled to do tag team stuff with you, and you gonna turn on me? That would be great.
I love it.
That'd be fantastic.
I'm very intrigued to see where that goes, because this is the first time that I think a face Charlotte has like caught fire. Like, this is the, and I give her a lot of credit, because I think it's the, she even spoke about this at the SummerSlam presser that I was lucky enough to go to. Like, she talked about how she always felt like the secret sauce with the character of Charlotte was being unstoppable, being the queen, not being not having any cracks to show. And then she was like, no, kind of the opposite. Like, this time around, like, I feel like the vulnerabilities are what can make Charlotte great. And I really appreciated that, because it felt like, I don't want to say this because I don't want to give validity to a very dumb section of the internet. But it felt like the person that Charlotte is, like, in the time that she was injured, felt those vulnerabilities, like being disconnected from the only thing that she's ever knew and dealing with this long-term injury, like, and maybe not knowing where to go when you've climbed the mountain a million times and are so successful and genuinely a physical phenom. So, not like to give weight to criticisms that she has thrown her way that should be directed at booking. But in talking to her, it felt like there was a lot of sincerity underneath that. And I appreciated that. I appreciated that in that moment quite a bit. She is, I'll say she did very well in one category of the Fightful Awards. I won't give away which one it was, but it's a fun one. I'll tell you in the private chat though. You guys all find out on Monday, but
Voltron. Oh, I'm sorry, I gave it away. I'm sorry.
Let's talk about this tag match between Julia and Kiana, a pairing that still just does not work for me. Against Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, you have Julia and Kiana controlling a good deal of like the middle stretch of this match. And they're isolating Alexa in the corner and getting heat with these tag shots. And Alexa Bliss escapes to Charlotte, and Charlotte, hot tag Charlotte, continues to be really fun. Like, she just runs wild in this. There's distractions and the tag keeps shifting momentum and stuff, but ultimately James tags in and cuts Charlotte off, but Alexa Bliss sneaks behind and blind tags and plants Kiana with the sister Abigail DDT for the pin here. So you have Charlotte and Alexa winning.
I was sports entertained. I thought Kiana actually looked really good in this match.
She's a very good wrestler.
Like, for all of the stuff that people give her with this storyline. I thought Kiana James really did her big one. I got to give a shout out to, because why did you headbutt Alexa Bliss from behind, Julia? That was unnecessary. I liked this match. I really kind of have no complaints really about SmackDown. And I know I'm always bitter Betty, but like this, I was sports entertained by this. I kind of don't know. I go back to often what you say about Julia, about simply just letting her wrestle and make money. And I think that is a possibility, but I think I don't know what's going on with the tag division. You front loaded it so much, but you don't have that. I'm more upset about the things around it than the match itself. The match I thought was fine. I think Alexa Bliss's sister Abigail has been getting crisper and cleaner, and she looks like a little demon doing it. So I got to give the girl her flowers, but I see what we're doing with Alexa and Charlotte, sowing the seeds of doubt in that group. I see that. I'm concerned about Julia and Kiana James because I don't see what we're doing with them.
Here's an idea. Stop booking singles champions and tag feuds when you have a robust division. I feel like I am Will Ferrell and Zoolander. Am I on crazy pills? Why are we pretending that there's some secret sauce to getting Julia over or making these belts feel important in general? They're losing in tag matches. Kiana's a manager. She's a wrestler. She should be wrestling, in my opinion. They're not a tag team, so the tag team shouldn't lose. And thankfully, they didn't pin Julia. But considering the partnership has literally never been helpful. I guess it did win her tag title back, but my God, she's lost a lot more than she's won with it. This pairing makes no sense. Having no contenders for her is inexcusable at this point. How is this still the case all these months later, not only specifically with Julia, but with the US title, which has been around for like a year now? I just, man. There are I've seen a lot of this keeping her away from AEW. I don't think AEW was all that interested to my knowledge. I had heard of not like hesitations from AEW, but I hadn't heard of any sort of interest. And usually by the time somebody gets signed, like it's trickled down to me in some way. And I hadn't heard anything about them being like properly interested in Julia, like making offers or anything like that. I don't know what the hell the deal is with this, but it sucks. It sucks every week. You have 3 hours of programming. You have loads of talented women. Candice LeRae is goofing off with her husband and her husband's tag partner, who seems to be on the way out of the company. You have Ivy Nile collecting dust on the bench. This is ridiculous.
I forgot about Ivy Nile for a hot
second.
second.
So did they. It's ridiculous. Stop. It's embarrassing. They wouldn't use the men's US title. Like, look at what's going on with the men's US title. Look at what's going on the women's. It's embarrassing. Embarrassing that in 2026, this is how you're using fucking Julia. I'm sorry for cursing, but I'm not sorry for cursing.
Listen,
it is embarrassing.
Don't use embarrassing. It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
There are also words that I wouldn't say on here that you can say over there. There is a divide. So I'm not going to say those ones, but my God, like, I understand that you finally put effort in the women's tag division. We've been wanting that for years. That doesn't mean abandon. I can't even say abandon because they never cared about the US title in the first place. Like, it's just been the work of Chelsea Green and then them doing nothing with the rest of it. It's embarrassing at this point. But post-match, we get Nia and Lash, surprise, surprise, jumping Charlotte. Julia getting a Nia's face is interesting. Maybe they'll do something with that. But
I would like to see it.
That would be cool because Julia beats the ever-living crap out of people. Like, if you actually gave them a whole 11 minutes, like Nia trying to bonsai drop her and her just arrivederci kneeing her, like, there's a lot of fun stuff you could do. But, like, man, get there fast because this shit sucks.
There's a world where Julia muscle busters Nia Jax Just like there's a world where Jordan Grace muscle busters Jade Cargill.
Hey,
There's a world. There's a world. I don't know what world. Maybe I don't know, but there's a world. There's a world, and I would like to see it. I want to be on that planet when it happens.
I would love to be on that planet, and if I wasn't on that planet, I would set my location to be on that planet. That's what I would do. I would use a VPN to go to that planet, and I would get that probably either for free or at a cheaper price than I would get it on this one. Okay? Whatever planet that is, send me there, Sean Rossap.
If you're a wrestling fan and you're not using NordVPN, what are you doing? WWE content in its own, all with one Netflix subscription, thanks to NordVPN.com/Fightful. Right now, in order to watch Raw, SmackDown, NXT, PLEs, you need Netflix, you need CW Network, you need USA, you need Peacock for Saturday night's main event and ESPN Unlimited, or you get NordVPN.com/Fightful. Download the app. It's very easy. Pay the basic tier, just $2.98 a month it averages out to, and you can access all that WWE content with one Netflix account. Just change your virtual location and you are set. It is a must-have for wrestling fans, especially as money gets tighter and especially as you got to go everywhere to get wrestling content. Head over to NordVPN.com/Fightful because it's not just that feature. There's so many more that you can check out over at NordVPN.com/Fightful. We've had hundreds, if not thousands, of wonderful users report back about their great viewing experience here. NordVPN.com/Fightful.
Fightful Awards present sponsor, NordVPN. We love them. Cresta, we went like 2 whole segments without saying anything mean about TNA. I'm so proud of us.
Listen, my trauma. That's how I feel right now. My trauma, man.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. That was your little engine that could brand. I get it. I had to give up on ROH. But they might be making moves. Jordan Oliver and Alec Price signing to the AEW ROH umbrella. Maybe they might just be padding their roster because they have so many injuries, but it would be cool if they did stuff with the Row brand. That would be neat.
Who? TNA?
No, ROH.
Oh, I'm about to say.
You thought what? You thought TNA signed someone and made a move?
No, I thought you were saying it'd be cool if TNA did something with Ring of Honor. I'm like, no, TNA
that would be cool, but they won't.
TNA is Squidward right now in the thing, looking down at SpongeBob and Patrick going like this, wishing he could play. TNA not allowed to do nothing, not even with their own people.
Not even with their own people. We'll talk about that in a minute. But before we do, I know we've had a lot of plugs for you today, and I've got more. Well, it's honest. Because we're providing so much for you behind the paywall. Sean Rossap confirmed, I was going to say. Sorry, he's been doing that all week. That's not what happened. He recorded SRS 10, the first one, which is where he goes through matches that he's rated a 10 out of 10. And I gotta say, Sean knows ball. If you haven't seen him break down matches before, he's really, really, really great at it. And it's one of my favorite things that I get to hear him wax poetic about. He is doing the TNA triple threat of all TNA triple threats. So he's doing Samoa Joe, Styles, Daniels. It's part of why I brought it up when we were talking about TNA, just for a second there, because that is widely regarded as the best triple threat of all time. So you're not going to want to miss that one. I am obnoxiously on him about reviewing ZSJ Danielson because he gave it 10 out of 10. And that's maybe my favorite match I've ever been at in person, with 2 of my very favorites ever. So I will be very annoying about that. And I recommend you be annoying about it too. So that's all I'm saying. But Cresta, was there adrenaline in your soul today?
I don't know. There might have been adrenaline in my soul, bro.
Adrenaline in our bruv's souls.
He had adrenaline in the sole of his shoe.
He did it, and probably very fancy shoes to match his very dapper suits. Some mixed reactions for Cody, which was kind of fun. He doesn't get that a lot, and I don't think he gets it without Drew McIntyre being world champion, having won it from him. Like, I think that's a fun, like, you can turn faces and heels on their heads in a country for a minute. You know what I mean? There's no harm in that. And we haven't heard that with Cody in a very long time. So he even says that he admits his run got a little predictable, including his "what do you want to talk about" routine. I noticed that seemed to be like petering out in a sense, but he gives London some indie history love in all of this. He says London deserves a WrestleMania and a heel he was no more. Everybody was excited about that. But he announces that he is number one, or he's entering. He's the first to enter Royal Rumble. Not that he's number one in Royal Rumble, excuse me. And then he turns to Jacob Fatu and says he's got a receipt waiting for him and dares Fatu to pull up. And then backstage, Kathy Kelly interviews Matt Cardona, who says almost essentially exactly what he said last week. he's chasing the championship, but he is in the eliminator matches for tonight. So it all makes sense. What did you think of Cody's promo and Cardona chasing some gold as he shows back up in WWE?
I'm laughing at Cody getting booed. You can't escape it. I think at this point it's becoming a meme. You just got some things in wrestling becomes a meme. Like when Kurt Angle comes out, people start singing "You Suck." We love you, but we still singing "You Suck." That's just what it is. I think at some point you gotta expect to just get booed. Cody is a good orator, though. He knows how to turn the crowd back on their side. When he said, you know, I got predictable, and the crowd was booing like, yeah, get out of here. Oh, Drew McIntyre. A lesser man would have been like, oh, so you want Drew? You want Drew? But instead, he was like, London, guys, he's the wrestler. What culture? Oh, y'all have a reference. Y'all have a throwback. Oh, you guys, you deserve a WrestleMania. And then UK was like, hey, bro, this guy, all right. He's all right, bro. I'm sorry, UK, you legally have permission to jump me after that. That was an awful impression. I apologize. It was all right. It was all right. Him and Jacob Fatu is all right. Something about that just doesn't excite me because I like Cody. I am a Cody crybaby. But I feel like Jacob got to kill this man. I don't want to see that. I don't know. I don't want to see it. I feel like Jacob will kill this man. And I don't want to say, I don't. It's like if they say, oh, Joe Hendry versus Jacob Fatu. Do we have to? I don't want to see that. Because Jacob Fatu is going to be like that dog with the toy. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. Not because it won't be good. But I don't want to see Cody get too chewed up. As far as the Matt Cardona, until they bring his Always Ready theme.
I mean, at least give us all the radio. But, TNA's Matt Cardona. Oh, no. Another one. I want to pull this up from Pile Driver Finisher because he says, Cody is reliable AF for this company. Agreed. I liked the promo. One thing that Cody is never is wavering. And I can't tell you how far that goes, not only as a performer, but especially as a babyface. Mm-hmm. If you are the babyface that he's built up to be, and you show that you are shaken by one of these crowds even a little, that's bad because you're basically built as Superman. This is not his first rodeo. He's not going to get shaken by this. He knows where he is. He knows Drew McIntyre is going to be super over. He knows he's the one that lost that title to Drew McIntyre and who he's been feuding with. So I was expecting nothing less, but Cody is very, very good. Very, very good. Great at that specific aspect of things of just winning the crowd back pretty quickly. I'm assuming there's got to be serious talks about WrestleMania going to London because that would be the second time they've said that and not delivered on it if they don't do it. That would be really shitty to do to your local crowd if that was the case. But we will see what's to come there. We got some more chats. Single Blue Note Panda saying tonight's Limitless Wrestling YouTube live chat section was ripping on last night's TNA show while watching the Limitless Rumble. Part of why this popped to me was I just saw a tweet to Sean that called Sean a TNA hater, which is very funny because I'll be straight up. Not a lot of people watch TNA, so not a ton of people watch the TNA post show, and that mostly operates at a loss. Sean has the longest running TNA post show of any wrestling media outlet of a certain like level, I suppose. That we operate at a loss because we believe in covering TNA. So it's not just us saying last night's show was bad. The Limitless Wrestling YouTube chat was independent wrestling fans were like, nah, bro.
Almost everybody I know, like,
Yeah,
listen,
it was
I think
bad.
I think there's a rite of passage to an extent about when you begin to discover wrestling outside of WWE. Now there's AEW, but I think everyone's like, "Oh wow, what's this TNA?" And there's always one person be like, "Brother, don't get your feelings hurt." And I see why, because listen, my first introduction to TNA was Russell House.
Okay.
So, and then I went back and saw the others, like, okay, this is great. Then I saw the old promo. Okay, this is great. But it's like, I can't defend you when you're acting like this, TNA. We have eyes. We all have eyes. We all saw last night at the fairest, at fairest, I can watch TNA on Smackdown, and that's sad. So
that is a little sad. That is a little sad. You know what? I was going to talk about Trick and Cardona next, but let's rip the Band-Aid off, because this match ruled between Carmelo Hayes and Leon Slater, and I think that's where a lot of people's hearts are breaking, because it's like even the people they peg as the future just seem to like this is not an important SmackDown realistically, and the AMC show was very important, and Leon Slater was prioritized here. Now, if the trade was, we'll give you AJ Styles, I get it. But what they did with AJ Styles was have him come out and be like, hey, this is the house I built, and then stare at Frankie Kazarian. So, as opposed to like, I don't know, an X Division showcase, for example. But what we got tonight ruled, because Carmelo's great and Leon's great. These guys are great. This open challenge is so much fun. Strapping up Carmelo, though seemingly somewhat out of left field, was so the right call. Like I've just been, like a lot of people, a Carmelo believer for a long time, and he is just proving everybody right with every passing episode. It makes me so happy. So you have Leon Slater answering this. It was fast. It was athletic. There were a lot of creative spots in this. But the big story of the match was Hayes' left knee was compromised from last week, and Leon Slater wisely targeting it. Slater missed Swanton for 50 late in this, and Hayes couldn't fully capitalize because his leg just wasn't cooperating. But he finds one last gear here. You get Hayes fighting on the ropes and hitting an avalanche black crush to retain. This was I had a blast with this. Like, this is just... Sometimes you just gotta let the kids play. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just gotta let the kids into the backyard and let them wrestle. And man, oh man, did I have fun watching this. I was like, Leon Slater's super gone as soon as his contract is up. But what a main roster debut for him. What an incredible showing for Carmelo. These two just had instant chemistry and lit it right up. This was so much fun.
I'm going to tell you why I hate this match, because this type of match, I can't watch and write. I was so glad I caught a stream where I could pause it and go back, because I wanted to sit and watch this match and then take notes. This match was special. This match made me feel emotions that really just made me, I don't even want to rip on TNA because I just feel bad. I just feel bad. This is your X Division champion. And he proved that tonight. Him and Carmelo Hayes proved that, yo, bro, even if you don't know someone's name, if you let them go out there and wrestle, I've been rooting for Leon Slater. I'm so happy for Leon Slater. Man, I'll never forgive you, WWE and TNA. Because this match should have been on TNA. Like you said, like, even if you had Carmelo Hayes go over there, and if the result was the same, okay, like a little annoyed that your champion got pinned. But I had to remember, you still work for TNA. Oh, you're not going to get it that much. Oh, no way. You're pinning a WWE champion. But when there was no DQ, I was sports concerned that we were going to have a double champion. That is amazing. But at what cost? If I can group in the Cardona match with Trick Wizard, I thought that match was great too. I thought that Matt Cardona and Trick Williams being so tall, peak sports entertainment. Furthermore, Grace and Jordan Grace and Chelsea Green, that's a TNA special. These girls, for what they had, the time was great. And it just made me sad because all the things that I love about TNA, that I would praise about TNA, I'm now watching on SmackDown. Back to this Carmelo Hayes match. This match was superb. Like, this is what makes me upset because I know you can do this, WWE. You have the opportunity and the capacity to be valedictorian. But you're like, hey, I'm the Fonz. My parents got money. No, please. I want to see more of this. I want to see more of this. This was so good. But again, my heart hurts for TNA because it's like Leon Slater is Audi 5000 once that contract is up. Yeah. They've already showed him the world, bro. TNA, stand up. Please. Fight back. Fight back. Sorry, I didn't mean to rant. Ugh.
No, we are here for Cresta rants any day of the week. Noise2504 saying, Leon Slater and Mello put out a banger. I didn't even realize Jennifer Aniston was a wrestling fan. I hate Friends. Ross. That's just like her entire character. Yeah, this match was super, super fun. Super fun. Good. This was it feels like WWE heard the criticism of, hey, your roster's really like the same guys and they're all old white guys, like old in wrestling terms, by the way. And even so, like career longevity is a good thing, but we were like, can we get some youth? Can we get a shot in the arm of some of these young guys? And they've really brought that up. They've really brought that up in the past couple of months, to the detriment of NXT in some ways, but they will recover. Single Blue Note Panda saying, thank you, Fightful, for covering TNA for us. It's appreciated. We hope we can keep it around, honestly. Like that's that'll be conversations that are both above my pay grade and based on the hosts and preferences on what they want to do with it. But like it is, we're always rooting for every weekly episodic TV program out there. So we are so on the side of the talent that we just want to be able to cover as much of it as we can. But like when product interest is low, we have our own bills to pay. We have our own YouTube algorithm to worry about. So I'm hoping it sticks around. We'll see what happens with it. But like Megan saying, the watchable 15 minutes of TNA were perfectly fine. Like were they? Because that women's tag match was a mess. And the Hardys and Elijah with Mustafa and crew, like that was fun, but I don't know what it's in service of. I don't follow TNA very closely, so I could be way off base. And the World Championship match, I just felt like Bubba Ray was yapping over, and I didn't enjoy it. And I just feel like they missed the boat with Santana, so like this felt like an artificially produced moment. And then you have the pay-per-view coming up on Saturday for the rematch. It feels like I don't know. It doesn't feel great. It doesn't feel great. I hope people liked it. I just, from what I've seen, most people did not. So
I think TNA could turn it around. But if you want my exact feelings, go ahead and Google Tyra Banks yelling in that America's Next Top Model. We were all rooting for you, Tiffany. We were rooting for you. And my mother yells at me like this is because she loves me. That's how I feel. That's how I feel about TNA.
We want the talent to get what they deserve, I think. Exactly. And certainly I don't think it's like they'll never recover. I think they'll be fine. But
you can't get rid of TNA. I'm just joking right now. Like, what y'all gonna do?
If TNA gonna close? It'll be like AEW, my time is done. I have to swoop back in here and get paid over there. That'll happen.
Jeff Jarrett is the avatar of TNA.
I'm gonna do a poll here. What was your match of the night? I'm intrigued to see what people's match of the night was. Leon versus Mello. What else did we get on the show? Let's keep talking about it. Cardona versus.
I think that there is a conversation about Leon Slater versus Carmelo Hayes for match of the year. I know we just started. Started. And I think that if not this one, there has to be a run back because holy hell. And just Carmelo Hayes, think about the matches he's him and Ilja, him and Leon Slater, even him and Gargano. God. Yo, come on now. If you don't see what I see in Carmelo Hayes, AEW gonna see what I see. A life for a life. You took Ricky Saints. We will now take Carmelo Hayes. Equivalent exchange. Because they're both phenomenal. And I'm going to put them on the same level. So a life for a life. Look at what you have, okay?
It's funny you say that because I want to do match of the month throughout the year. And I think it would be really, really cool if you did match of the month and then you did a bracket of 12 matches and that's how you came up. Instead of everybody being like, was Kenny and Gabe Kidd better than that? Like, no, Kenny and Gabe Kidd was the best month of January. Then you see how it was against February's best match. Because I think that would be such a fun way to do it. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll do it on my own content if I dust off my channel anytime soon. But to your point, like it's early, but like they should run that back because it was great. But I think a lot of people are finally seeing like, hello, Carmelo's amazing. That's what everyone's been saying. Let him do this. It's been great.
Yeah.
Well, Cresta, let's run it back to Trick Williams and Matt Cardona. We get a nice back and forth here. Trick Williams getting a monster reaction in Europe, which is awesome to see because he is new, but he caught fire quick. Super fun entrance. Easy to fall in love with here. He's just so damn cool, and it's so effortless. I love it with this guy. But Cardona getting some shine in this. We get the zigzag near fall. We get the radio silence attempt, but Trick finishes this, shuts the door. Trick avoiding the big shots from Cardona and winning with the trick shot here. This was the way this should have gone. I am nervous this is going to lead to like Cardona Mello at Mania because Matt Cardona is going to realize the title that he's been chasing all along is the one that he should have had at MSG. And I don't think that's a great call. But I get more nervous of it each passing week because Cardona's like, I'm going for the world title, and that's not going to happen. So when they're like, where should we trickle him back down to? That makes me a little nervous. But from what we got tonight, this was perfectly serviceable. This was always going to be Trick's to win. I think you're trying to make a star out of this guy, which from the looks of it, I don't think is going to be very difficult. He's off to a really good start here on the main roster, Cresta.
Oh, no, absolutely. These both guys look like $1 million. Like I alluded to early, this was a very sports entertainment ass match. Trick Williams, I want to boo him. You need to make him uncool, bro. The presentation is cool. He got me with it. I got 8 abs, 3 cars, 2 feet. That's what I'm expecting to say. Like everything I want to hate this guy. I want to hate this guy, but he's just so damn cool.
Yes.
Matt Cardona, when the lights go to give me either that or give people what they want with radio silence. I don't know what this is.
Radio.
Give them what they want, bro. Matt Cardona will always be $1 million. He is the most sports entertainerist of professional wrestlers that I can think of right now. Him and Joe Hendry are very peak sports entertainment. Like Jericho Appreciation Society sports entertainment. Like these guys are sports entertainment. I do agree with you though. He's gonna win something. I don't want it to be from Carmelo Hayes, but I feel like whoever beats Carmelo Hayes for it, I don't want Matt Cardona to beat him for it either. I don't know. I kind of feel like if it's a Dragunov type person, even if it's Nathan Frazier, I don't want you to beat them for that either. I wouldn't be mad if you beat Drew McIntyre. In fact, I would guffaw. I would
guffaw, laugh. She says. I don't know if you know this reference because you weren't watching, but are you familiar with the Hosky song from Arbroski?
No, I thought you were gonna say woo woo woo. Like I know that.
Okay, this is from that era, but maybe you should just for the OGs in the chat that know the Hosky song. It was a song about how he got his heart broken by a Hosky as Broski. Maybe that should just be his theme. Let me know what you want.
Wasn't Drew McIntyre No.
No, he was in a 3-man band. Drew McIntyre was.
Yeah, but he wasn't with the Edgeheads. He wasn't. Was he with
No,
them?
no, no, no.
Okay.
Was Drew with the Edgeheads?
Yeah, because he looks like he'd be a stooge with Cardona and Brian Myers.
I don't believe that Drew was an edgehead, but that was before my time too. Let's double check that.
Not that was before my time.
I don't believe so. I don't believe he was an edgehead. I remember him facing Edge. I know that much.
Chat, I know y'all know. Y'all are wrestling historians. Type in the chat.
Smarten us up. Smarten us up. Let's keep working through this episode of SmackDown. 7 matches tonight. I love having some in-ring on the show, but the chat alluded to it before. Kit Williams. I just love a whimsical man, Cresta. I really do, but Kit Williams shows up and attacks Cardona after the match. And he tries to cut a promo later, but Fatu is behind him and just destroys him. Super kick sent on, big moonsault. Fatu's going after everybody. He calls out Cody. Cody hits the ring and they start brawling. We later learned that Cody and Fatu is set for Saturday night's main event in 8 days. Just mean to do to Kit Wilson. The theme is a banger. The Pretty Deadly theme was a banger. I love Kit Wilson. I love this duo. And if Elton Prince is going to be out for a while, good. Let Kit Wilson get paid. Let him get some TV time. It'll be fun when Elton Prince is able to come back. Our best healing to him, of course. But your thoughts on this?
I didn't like what you did to Matt Cardona. And I thought that was rude, Kit Wilson. That being said, Jacob Fatu doing this to this young man. Oh, God, he didn't deserve that. Like I said, what he gonna do to Cody like a pit bull, just shake the shit out of him? That's what he did to Kit Wilson. I like Kit Wilson's theme. It reminds me of Zara Larson's Midnight Sun and Celine Dion's I Drove All Night. And I don't know. I love it, but damn, Jacob Fatu, you killed that man all because you wanted the microphone. But that's what you get for beating up Matt Cardona, who just wanted to walk up the ramp. I mean, Trick Williams is more toxic masculinity, but you didn't beat him. I okay, but now Matt Cardona, his beard connects, so does his anger. He's gonna come and get you after you just got beat up by Jacob Fatu, which again, yikes! I don't know if I want to wrestle that day. Hey,
listen. I would respectfully decline. I would RSVP, no thank you, and I would move on and do literally anything else because I value having my bones not be broken. That's all. Well, Chisholm saying, I think Trick takes the title from Melo at Mania. Love that call. Love that call. There's a lot of NXT lore there.
Together?
They've been friends. They've been enemies. They've been frenemies. There's a lot of possibilities. They have a very long history, the two of them. Backstage attacks. But Trick came up as Carmelo's hype man. There's a really, really fun story there of like, when we were NXT, I was your hype man, and now I'm surpassing you. Like, oh, that could be fun. That could be fun, especially because Carmelo's on the face side of things right now. And I feel like Trick they're rolling with as a heel, so wouldn't be mad about that at all. Josh from CT says, Kit Wilson, MF spitting. Kit Wilson was spitting, all right?
I mean, we're all just toxic.
We are.
I mean, he's got a good point. Toxic masculinity has got to go. It's just that Jacob Fatu was toxicity incarnate in that moment. Yo.
Toxicity. He was the entire bottle of poison under the sink, that guy.
Truly?
Lethal.
Poor Kit.
Let's talk some tag action. Get in those super chats and humper chats at humperchats.com. You guys have been awesome tonight. I know we are starting later and we're going to end up finishing later too because we got a lot more matches to talk about. So we are working our way through them. But Solo Sikoa defeating Damian Priest, and you're not going to believe this, but the numbers game does come into play here. You have Solo's crew just becoming a factor, like immediately. Solo taking control through the break. Priest rallying with some good offense. Some good offense. I will say I'm ready to see Damian Priest not be against the numbers game. Like, numbers game against Judgment Day. Drew was a refreshing break. but then it was like Zelina and Alistair, and here it's against the MFTs. Like, let's get him in a good one-on-one program that's just him fighting another dude. But we have some chaos with the Wyatts appearing on the announce table outside, Solo abandoning the lantern to protect them. And then back in the ring, Solo turns right into the South of Heaven, and Damian Priest gets the win in post-match. Uncle Howdy briefly gets the lantern, but Talatanga boots him, and Solo escapes with it. So a lot of lantern play involved in this. Your thoughts, Miss Cresta?
Low key, yawn. Man, listen. I know AEW is just a t-shirt company, but maybe, much like the C2, you need to ban all people from ringside. Because maybe if you didn't do DQs for the past 17, no less weeks, this might have been a little spooky, scary, okay. But I'm kind of over it. Over Damian Priest with the numbers game. You make the refs look like dorks. Solo, you how you controlling these people and you can't win a match? Like, come on, dogs. Also, if you're gonna interfere, you might as well break up the whole match. Wyatt 6. They need to get more violent, and we need to do something about the numbers game. Ban everyone from ringside, because it's not fair that you can cheat to win when there's a number one contendership on the line. So yeah, it's kind of me.
Especially when there's contenderships on the line. Like, I always feel like baby faces should just get friends, but when there's contenderships on the line, referees should do their job. I love seeing all this love for Trick. We get this chat that says you get people to boo Trick by pitting him against fan favorites. He doesn't have to lose any of his aura. He looks like a star. I absolutely love that chat because it's super accurate. Like, you got to put him against people that are super over. Melo's such a great shout for that, because they for years they were just each other's rivals and friends and foes in NXT for years. They have such an extensive history and chemistry built in to work off of already, that's a situation where they can both be made by the belt. Like, I really like that as a program heading into Mania. So I'm with you. I'm with you on that. That's a great call. Like, just let Trick be a star who happens to be facing people that you really love. All for that. Backstage, we have Shinsuke Nakamura watching, and Tama Tonga warning him that the U.S. title will be his once they get the tag titles. And Nakamura responds in Japanese to a translation that essentially says that Tama has changed for the worse and can't tell his enemies from his allies anymore, even in his own family. So Nakamura playing games right back. Some nice New Japan undertones there with a lot of the wrestlers involved in this, so we'll take it. Any thoughts on that, Cresta? It's just kind of a quick little backstage.
It sounds like Nakamura called him a bitch, and that's what you pretty much confirmed. So
it sounds like essentially a bitch who needs to watch his back. That's for sure.
I mean, honestly, Solo Sikoa, the greatest mind game. You talk about these were my this was my bloodline. You got kicked out. Now this is my family tree. But aren't you Samoan hanging out with some Tongans? And these are I don't want to know. I'm on Shinsuke Nakamura's side. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. You sound confused. You sound crazy. And y'all hanging out with him? You sound crazy too. Gorillas of Destiny, my ass.
I love it. Ella Jeanette says, hello, ladies. Let's crank. Well, thank you. Thank you. Let's crank. Right back at you, as we are. Well, I can't really say that without that sounding incredibly dirty, and we don't have a Blue Chew ad, so I'm just going to skip that thought. But Single Blue No Panda saying, for Kate and Cresta covering SmackDown, I miss the ROH TNA handover back in the day. This helps bring back the feeling. We're restoring the feeling, Cresta, which I love.
I'm sorry.
I love it. I very much also miss that. If I didn't have post shows every other day of the week, like, I would still be doing the Thursday show, even though ROH is a lost product. Because I love the talent of it, and I loved working with both Reg and SP3, and I loved our special handoff time. It was very fun. We had some special ones where ROH was such a short episode that we just had to kill time between the handoff from that to TNA. We had some work to do. We had some work to do on that show, but
Mad Libs, honestly, 10 out of 10.
Mad Libs, fishes, wishes, bitches. That was my favorite moment. Speaking of having work to do, Chelsea Green and Jordynne Grace. My goodness, Jordynne Grace. I'm just like, take it from Jade. You're unstoppable. You are short, but you are very mighty, Jordynne Grace. Grace hits the direct effect, which is a rolling DVD for the pin in 2.5 minutes on Chelsea Green. This was very dominant. And post-match, Grace calls out Jade, who is shown sitting near commentary. Jade steps into the apron and starts jaw-jocking with her. But Chelsea charges in and accidentally crashes into Jade when Jordynne Grace moves. Grace holds up the title and tosses it back to Jade. I've been saying for weeks, if not months, why is Jordynne Grace on NXT? And they were like, we don't know either. We should call her up. And I was right. Again, Cresta. Jordynne Grace looks awesome, man. Like, I am loving what we're getting out of her so far. I'm still nervous about Jade Cargill versus Jordynne Grace, what that might give us in ring. But I am very excited for Jordynne to be on the main roster. I just am so behind Jordynne. I'm like, just take it. Take the title. Like, I am convinced by these appearances. Like, you have won me over with how dominant you've been so far. This is like a textbook rollout of how Jordynne Grace should be presented on the main roster, and I'm loving every second of it. Where are you at with this?
Man, I love the Knockouts division. Man, let me tell you something. Chelsea Green and Jordynne Grace on a Friday night. Hey, I love the Knockouts division. Let me be clear. I love the Knockouts division. I love that Chelsea Green gets to take a load off because I seen she was doing some work down at TNA. So anytime Chelsea Green is just being a hot mess, live for it. WWE, you're a bunch of cowards. Jordynne Grace's finisher is the Muscle Buster. But I also understand, much like the Styles Clash, not everyone can take that. So we gotta go in everybody's, everyone's vicinity. That being said, I thought overall, everyone looked good here. Yes, I lived for Jade even being on the outside. So I'm not impressed. Like, sister, you're a liar. They had you out here so they can show you that this short girl can pick up a girl who is your height. You are a liar. I know you're impressed. You're a liar. That being said, this, unfortunately, for me at least, this is giving Drew McIntyre make or break for Jade. You got to do something. This is going to be the match where it's like, shut me up. I want to be wrong. And I feel like I'm one of those people who are quote unquote nice about it. There are people who say a lot more horrible things, and I don't feel that way. You know what I mean? But y'all could book Jade versus Jordynne in such a way where the muscle mommies are muscling. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen Full Metal Alchemist, but there's a scene in there where this one muscle dude starts posing in front of the other dude, and the other dude just rips off his shirt, and they just start posing in front of each other. I feel like that should be every Jade match from my sports entertainment. Just her and Jordynne Grace just pose to have a flex off. But this is the time for it. I think there's a world where Jade and Jordynne could have a hot potato with the title because they're both on the same level. You know what I mean? Don't know how realistic that is, but I would put my VPN to that planet to see that match. You know what I mean?
Hey, oh my God. Analysis, brains, beauty, and segues to NordVPN, our wonderful sponsor for tonight's show. I think the world of Jordynne with you, and similar to what we said about the Wyatt Six, I don't understand why Jade's just not squashing local jobber number 7. Like, they pulled everything right back to her AEW presentation, and part of what worked with her AEW presentation was she would just smoosh, respectfully, a bitch, and then it would be like 47-0. Like, that was it. It was it, and it was beautiful, and it worked. Like, I don't know why WWE is allergic to having wins build people, and squashes for someone like Jade are so effective because it works with where she's at in ring wise right now and makes her look super, super dominant. And her biggest in-ring strength is her moveset. Like, the moves that she does well, she does extremely well, and not a lot of people can do them. So, like, just have her do that. Just have her pump kicking people. And putting people in her incredible finisher. So that's what I would do. Like just make dominant people look dominant through big badass wins. But
Yeah.
Jordynne Grace is a phenomenal. Like I'm hoping that this Julia title reign she gets some wins with, and then Jordynne Grace takes it from Julia. Because if you saw that match, oh boy, and Jordynne would be such a good mid-card champion. Like,
oh yeah,
she's so that like workhorse badass. Like I am here for it. But Noise 2504 saying I miss when Jordynne was making unhinged tweets before signing to WWE. I'll say this, like, she's not on her best behavior. She's not as unhinged as she was, but she's definitely tested the waters with her time in NXT. She's been saying some stuff. She's not the most PG, but I understand what you're saying. She's a lot of fun on social media. A lot of fun.
It's always sad when you lose your resident memer to the straight. I remember when I lost. Sorry, Ubu, but we was just backup Hangman Page. Oh man, those memes used to hit. And then he went legit. Damn it. Shout outs to Ubu, but still, damn it, why'd you go legit, man?
Oh,
damn it.
Sean and I have talked sometimes, and he's like, man, I miss when I used to have like 5,000 followers. He's very, very, very thankful for the success, but he's like, I miss being able to say goofy shit without everybody getting weird. And it's like, it is a specific window of time that you have.
Yeah. I still have it right now and I enjoy it, but I know once I hit that 10,000 mark, Corporate Cresta here. Hello, guys. Did you enjoy professional wrestling on this fine evening?
Wow. What did you think? Yeah, it just becomes
Drop a comment below.
You trying to pull that out, you would be, I mean this in a good way, so bad at that. Like, I don't think that is so... That would not. People would be like, she got hacked. She got hacked. She is not this inauthentic. Nope.
Honestly, Corporate Cresta, man, before I got this job on Fightful, real Corporate Cresta was right to censor. You guys are getting actual Corporate Cresta because Corporate Cresta, oh man.
She was right to censor.
I was right to censor, bro.
Let's wrap up here with we are at our main events here. We are talking Ilja Dragunov and Sami Zayn. This was a lot of fun too. Nobody's surprised, but we did have a backstage where Drew was mocking Sami Zayn, who lays out his path. He's going to beat Ilja, win a hometown fatal 4-way, and then finally beat Drew at Rumble. And Drew smirks and reminds Sami that he's 11-0 against him. And Sami just says, we'll see. And then we also backstage had Johnny Gargano giving Candice LeRae the Axiom mask. 2 Axioms appear. One is revealed as Nathan Fraser, who attacks Gargano and announces a match next week. That should be very, very fun in ring for me. I know you're a Gargano hater.
I need Gargano to go face. I need someone to bully the hell out of him so he can go face. I can cheer for him. Like Nia Jax, the way she used to bully people, bully him. Like Trick Williams needs to bully him. Like I want to cheer for Gargano because I know he's a phenomenal wrestler, but I hate fighting behind your wife, sir. You need to be bullied just a little bit. Not sports bullying. Real life bullying sucks. And if you bully someone in real life, you deserve to get your a step on the Lego. That's the PG thing. Yeah, step on the Lego.
Trick versus Trick versus Dragunov does intrigue me, but I've seen it in NXT. Trick versus Gargano is a very interesting idea that you kind of just flippantly threw out there.
It's a clash of styles, but also you can't bully Johnny Gargano. He's a little wrestling demon, but Trick Williams could bully Johnny Gargano, and I don't think I would like that because you're too big to be bullying Johnny Gargano. But whoa, I hate Johnny Gargano.
I'm intrigued by that's a little. I want to see that match now. Let's talk about this Ilja Dragunov and Sami match because we have Sami defeating Dragunov here, Zayn surviving all this punishment. I love that there's a continuation from the open challenge here. Like Sami was a little bit smarter this time around working with Dragunov. He was a different wrestler when he was prepared and knew who was coming out. I like that. I like when wrestlers show a noticeable difference. And Sammy's always great at details like this, but Sami blocks some key moments of offense from Dragunov and finishes the corner exploder into a haluva kick for the win, which was a nice way to end this. But post-match, Trick attacks Sami Zayn standing tall, and to the point of the chat before, he's just going after fan favorites. It's a good way to keep him heel, despite how freaking cool this guy is. A wise booking decision on their side. What did you think of the 7th match of the show? It's been a while since we've said that.
Irritating again that this match was so damn good that I had to pause it at moments to rewind to just watch it from writing. Ilja Dragunov, if Darby Allin is the baby version, the next evolved version is Ilja Dragunov, because he also wrestles like he does not care about his body. Like, very respect. Ilja Dragunov is a monster. He's so good. And this is the second version of it, because Ilja used to be skinny like Darby, I think at least. And then he got injured, came back and looked like he ate himself and became a bigger version of himself. This man is too strong. Too strong. I don't like that he's beating up on Sami Zayn, because Sami Zayn is my favorite. He's up there with Eddie Kingston for me. No Sami Zayn slander ever. I thought Sami was going to lose this because the way they've been booking Sami all night. Sami, you're good, but you're a loser. Sami, you're a loser. Did you know you're a loser, Sami Zayn? Ha! You fought me 4 times, Sami. You're a loser. I was like, damn, y'all really giving him the Brian Myers a 0 and 109. Like, damn, you going to do that to my boy Sami? But he won. Very happy about that. And I know it was a clean finish because it's Ilja. So I knew that whoever was going to win this was going to win this. I wonder what shape Sami's going to be in for the 4-way. I like that Trick Williams came out at the end. I didn't like that he beat out Sami, but in the overarching story, that was a nice touch because everybody loves Sami Zayn. Like, if Sami Zayn hasn't been a jerk for a very long time, okay? So don't do that now. Sami's not peddling his conspiracy theories like he was in the beginning with the bloodline. So everyone loves Uncle Sami. So for you to do that, Trick Williams, you're well on your way. But even then, I hate to say it, WWE, when you're good, you're good. This guy is too cool. He might literally, he might have to kill Sami Zayn. Look what he did. Look what y'all did with Gunther. Gunther tapped out the never give up guy. And now we hate him because he made the never give up guy give up.
You're
Trick
not
Williams
wrong
might have to
about
do
that.
something dastardly, and I hate that. I hate that for Sami Zayn in particular. You could do it to Dirty Dom because everyone likes Dirty Dom, but why would you kill Dom? Like, it's Dominic. Why are you doing that? Stop.
They got to make Sami Zayn stop being the biggest loser at some point. Like, to say that Drew was 11-0, Sami needs to beat Drew next time they face off. It doesn't necessarily have to be for the title, but you can't make a point to say that and not pay it off down the line for Sami Zayn. I would have him win Rumble. Like, there's youngins around, and I get wanting to do that with like an Obafemi or a Braun Breaker. But the way it's set up right now, Sami Zayn winning in Saudi Arabia is the biggest moment you could probably have. Braun Breaker winning Elimination Chamber in Chicago is the biggest heel heat you could have. With the way the chessboard is right now, do it. Just do it. And follow through on both of those moments. You'll have a mega heel in Braun Breaker winning in Chicago. You'll have a even more mega baby face, and you'll just be giving the crowd what they want. It's so simple. Give the crowd what they want.
Even further, like, listen, I'm not a fan of the relationship in Saudi Arabia, but if you want a goodwill, hey, look, we're not Sami Zayn winning. Come on. That is the piece de la resistance for PR. Don't piss me off. Wait, where's my knife? Hold on, where's my knife? Wrong one. It's the butterfly. Hold on. Wrong one.
It's a butterfly knife, though. It makes sense. It works.
Now it's stuck in my hair. This is prison. You know what? A pox upon you with my butterfly wing, and I'm going to stab you in a minute, but a pox first.
That's it. It would do damage. I'm down with that. Like, I'm hurting. Oh, my goodness. I'm dead. I just died. Cresta killed me on air. R.I.P. me. That's it.
Press F in chats to pay respects.
Oh, man. Well, there's definitely like a fresh energy about SmackDown, which is good. I hope they keep it up because there's been plenty of times where they've done this for 3 weeks. But 'tis the season to be consistent. Blah, blah, blah. Like let's keep this going. Um Cresta, let's who do you think? Who do you have for Royal Rumble winners? I'm intrigued by this.
So looking at the field, I I want to say that there might be a wild card out there, but even then, wild card historically haven't won Royal Rumble. Before tonight, my money was on Joe Hendry. Now I'm kind of leaning on Sami Zayn. I say Joe Hendry because there's something to capitalize, and it's a fresh face in the mix. Whether he's a baby face or a tweener, you're not just cheering Cody. Respectfully, love Cody boots, love Cody down, but you're not just cheering Cody. You have another baby face who isn't one of the same guys. Do I think Joe Hendry wins it? No, but I think the crowd are still into say his name, and very good for Sami Zayn if he wins. But much like Drew, Sammy's gotta win. If Sami calls it at Mania, Sammy's gotta win. But I don't think Sami will win at Mania, and I think it'll hurt Sami this time around. And that's unfortunate. That's who I have for the men's. For the women's, I don't know. So Zelina Vega, as always, I think that you guys have jobbing my girl. I've Mick had it, but there's a timeline where returning Bianca Belair wins the Royal Rumble if she's better.
If Bianca's better, that wouldn't surprise me at all. I could see Liv Morgan it being her year too. She's had a couple of times where she's run the gauntlet. They've been some of her best performances where she's been in there for like an hour. She's kind of had the bridesmaid, never the bride story. She needs to have a big comeback like run, I think, right now to set her on. So wouldn't be surprised if it was her. I would love for it to be something like a Jordan Grace or someone like out of left field. I think there's a lot of interesting ways that you could go with that.
I don't think they win, but Legend or Grace can definitely fill that Iron Woman spot.
Yeah. I think Jordan Grace is for sure in the final four. I think she probably it would be silly not to have her set a record for the most eliminations. No offense to Nia. I think she holds that record now and she's great, but Jordan would receive a boost off of that in a way that Nia having the record at this point does not, right? So things like that I think could be really good. I would love for Roxanne to be in the final four again. I think making her where Liv Morgan was a few years ago is a cool spot for her to be in because she's been featured heavily, but she has taken more losses than any woman on the main roster. So setting up something between her and Raquel or whatever, use Rumble as a thing to set her up for. But I'm intrigued. They're not super obvious. The chat is saying Cody's just going to win it again and get back there. I think that would be a waste. I'm more concerned that Cody sneaks his way into a triple threat that I don't think is a necessary use of Cody, but we'll see. We'll see.
Can I say a hot take?
Yeah.
I don't want to be right about this. So let me say, please take this with a grain of salt, and I want to be wrong. But Cody is to me, he's inching towards an insufferable baby face like he was in AEW. He's filling that John Cena role, and the fans are going to turn on him. I like Cody, but if Cody does this, they're going to turn on him. Yeah. They're going, and it was proved tonight. Yeah, okay, you're in Germany, you're in UK. Okay, fine, you're on foreign soil. But I think they'll turn on Cody. Not in Cody's hometowns, but I think the fans are ready to turn on Cody. And if Cody cries about it even a little bit, they're going to just boo him just to boo him, like in AEW. He's filling that John Cena spot, and he's great for it. But I think he needs to be away from the title just for a hot second.
Sure,
or else the fans are going to turn on him.
I think there's something to be said about having that mobility back, too. Having your top guys go work in mid-card pictures, I think is important. We saw what that did with Gunther, right? So we'll see. I'm also I'm just gonna assume, I have not heard this is not a report from us. I'm gonna assume Hobbs is a Royal Rumble surprise. I'm gonna
Powerhouse
assume
Paul.
Powerhouse Paul is gonna come out at number 1 at Royal Rumble. I'm gonna assume at this point Santos Escobar is a Royal Rumble surprise, just because I think maybe he was lined up for that Dominic program, and Dominic got injured, so he hasn't been able to come back. You could do fun interactions in Royal Rumble with them at that time. So we'll see. It's an interesting little interesting little Rumble season. We'll see what's to come of it. But Cresta, we've got some investigating to do for Royal Rumble, but I'm not the lead investigator. That's you, girl. Where can people find you?
I'm clocking out for the night shift, y'all. I'm tired. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed myself and Kate, you can tune in every Friday for the Smackdown post show. Sometimes we're early, sometimes we're late. 3 hours is not so great. I'm a rapper. If you need more Cresta Star in your life, I'm here every Saturday on Fightful, going over all things AEW Collision. I also do Rest-vestigations, answering the 5 questions that nobody asks for in professional wrestling. You can catch me over on my YouTube, Cresta Star. The next Rest-vestigation should be out by next week, or hopefully by the end of the month. And the name of it's Who the Fuck is Mark? So I hope you tune in anywhere you can type Cresta Star, CRESTA STARR. Extra one because I'm a pirate. Your butt looks nice. I hope you find $20 on the floor. Kate, where can people find you?
You can catch me producing the Fightful Awards on Monday. You can catch me on Mondays on Fightful Select, reviewing Raw and Sour Grabs. Tuesdays, reviewing NXT. Wednesdays, back at the Mark Order. And Fridays, right here. Cresta, are you on TNA tomorrow? You're doing Genesis?
I mean, I said yes, but after yesterday's display, I think I might pull a Joel Pearl and get 6. I saw him in the weeds this morning. Curious.
Oh, very suspicious.
Running Sounds from the grind.
That might need some rest-vestigating, but thank you so much for joining us. We will have both a TNA post show tomorrow and a Collision post show for you. We will have a Raw show for you at 4:30-ish, assuming they're doing a 2.5-hour show on Monday, in the Fightful Awards that night. So that is the upcoming schedule. We are going to have a social media graphic up for it very soon because there's a lot of moving parts. Take care. Have a safe and wonderful wrestling weekend.